Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm here with a different kind of video today. Rather than focusing on a specific type of knife, well, a specific knife, I should say, I'm focusing on a specific type of knife, which I don't see mentioned that much. And I think it's kind of one of those love it or hate it kinds of knives. And as you might be able to tell from the table, I figured we could take a look at some Karambits. Now, let's take this one off for now. Not really a Karambit, but this one is. Now, basically, when I say karambit, I'm talking about a knife that's small enough to be carried, has a finger ring, and that's about it. Sometimes they're fixed blades, sometimes they're folders. Somewhere there's probably some hard and fast definition of what a karambit is. I don't really know that. But what I do know is I consider what's on the table right now karambits, and like I said, a couple of fixed blades, some folders. They all have finger rings and they all have blades that are pointy. Now, another thing on them is that sometimes the blade profiles change, and I just wanted to point these out because I think they make they're okay for EDC stuff, but I think they make excellent defensive tools, and a lot of people seem to overlook that. Now, this one, for example, I actually reviewed this one. Wasn't too thrilled with it. This is a Boker Magnum. Some of you might remember that from a recent video. And the reason why I like this with all the Karambits is, you could take the overhand grip, and you can also take an underhand grip. Okay. Now, if you are being attacked, let's say someone is trying to harm you, you got this finger ring. Not only does the finger ring work as a blunt instrument to try and get away from whatever is endangering your safety, but it also makes it so that it's harder to knock out of your hands. I mean, if you have your hand on a traditional knife and someone punches you, let's say, you fall down, it's very easy that you might fall the wrong way and lose this. Whereas if your hand opens up this way, it could still fall off your hand, but it's a little bit less likely because you have that ring around your finger. One thing that's not so good is that the traditional karambit does have a bent blade. This one's not really as severe as some of them I've seen. Some of them are really have a much longer and very severe turn. Actually, they were kind of like referred to as almost like tiger claws. I was reading when they first were made, and they were popularized in Indonesia. And originally they were agricultural tools, and somebody said, hey, this might be good for defensive purposes. So we have one like this. This type of blade style I'm a little more partial to. And by the way, there are no Sabenzas on this table. These are all, for the most part, pretty cheap. I think the most expensive one here was this Sog Gambit, and that was only about $25. I think this was about $20. These guys, I think I got somewhere between like maybe $6 for these two, and this was the real expensive one. That was about $9. So you're not looking at a bunch of quality. Let's focus more on the style today. But something like this, we have some type of metal. It's a mil-spec knife, so not really a top quality name. But again, you get a good grip on that finger. I think this has a more useful blade. I mean, if I was working in a factory, I spent most of my day opening boxes and cutting stuff. I really would not want to use a hook bill blade. You can do it, but it's not really the quickest thing. Something like this, probably a bit more usable than some other ones. And then, of course, we have this one, the Tac Force, with you could say I probably have used this one quite a bit to cut stuff. It's a little dirty on that blade, but very similar to that one, thinner finger ring. But, it would do the job. Okay. This one is, I believe this is an M-Tech. This is a pretty cheap one. Don't think I ever used this one. One of those projects I figured I'd do because I got it so cheap, but it's a little thin, so it'd probably be a little uncomfortable for somebody like me. I have larger hands, but I see cheap knives, I pick them up. Just how I am. It's my thing. See it cheap, pick it up. And finally, this is probably the best one and the one that I've carried the most. This is the Sog, aka SOG, Gambit, which is nice. It's got that thick finger ring. And it has a slight hawkbill blade, but not too much of one. I also like this. I've actually done a review on this knife. If any of you are interested, you can go check that out. It's called, again, the Sog Gambit. And I like something like this because it is fixed blade, and you can rotate the clip right here, the belt clip, and you can wear it up or sideways. I tend to carry this basically along my waist sideways, so I can just kind of deploy like that if need be. Has a little bit of jimping there, so you got good traction with this jimping, because I wouldn't say it's real aggressive, but it's there. And then you got this ring, so I feel like if you're really locked down on this, you're not going to let go of it very easily. And it's got some grippy scales. So, I really like the whole idea of a finger ring, just to make sure that you really hold on to it when you need to hold on to it. And even though this next one is not a Karambit, so for those of you saying, oh, it's not a Karambit, I know it's not a Karambit, but this is one of my other favorites. This is the Sog Snarl, very underrated knife. This is another one that's good. I did have a clip. I lost it. I feel badly about that. You can wear it as a neck knife too, but I find it a little uncomfortable because it's a pretty good chunk of steel. But still awesome anyway. And with this one, it's kind of got that similar type of blade, just a little straighter along here. And then you can kind of lock your two fingers into this. And this is another one of those knives with, this one does have more jimping. So you got a lot of jimping here. You got two finger rings. Now you got a smaller blade, but you got a chunk of steel. It's fixed blade. Nothing's going to go wrong with this. You don't have to worry about a spring breaking or the action going, or the blade getting loose. It's just one piece of steel, just machined out. So just some options, because we're living in crazy times, and sometimes you're in lousy positions that you'd rather not be in, whether it's working in a tough neighborhood, or just wanting the peace of mind to know that if something were to happen, you could take care of yourself. And I just wanted to bring these up. Now, if you're looking for a higher quality, because if you want to rely on, these right here, like I said, these were very, very inexpensive. The Snarl, I got this maybe 4 years ago. I think I paid about $31 or $32 for it. The Gambit was a couple of years ago, was about $25 or $26. And this was pretty recently. This was about $20, $21. But there were a lot of really good Karambit style knives out there, and I would really encourage you, if you don't like them or you're not used to them, I would really encourage you to just even pick up a cheap one, just kind of get used to the idea, see if it's something you like. Then if it is, buy a nicer quality one, keep it with you, because like I said, you can deploy it for all basic EDC tasks. I just wouldn't want to use it all day long if that was a big part of my job. But also for defensive purposes. So my goal here is, because I figure most of you already know what Karambits are, but my goal here was just to kind of make you think about things and just give you a different perspective maybe. Please like and like the video if you do, and subscribe if you haven't been. I noticed there's really not that many of you who watch these videos who are subscribed. It's like my subscribers kind of just say, I'll subscribe to the guy, but I never want to see him again. And they don't watch. It's strange, but maybe you can actually watch and subscribe. That would be cool. All right, talk to you later.